Hello world, my name is Michael Pierre and today I am going to be creating a wireframe in this tutorial. This is based off of a school assignment for software development at the University of Central Florida. Technically, what's going on with this assignment is that there had to be a use case created. However, there had to be a UI design created. Technically, what was going on with the UI design is that there was a car inventory input that technically you put in the car information because this is a used car dealership. So technically, what's going on here is that we have to create a, a user interface in Java, by the way. And technically, what happens is that once you insert the information to the of the of the car, what's going to happen is that technically what's going on in this UML diagram, it's a little bit off, and I might have to edit it as I go along. But technically, what's going on is that within this UML diagram, we inserting all the car inventory. Okay, so technically, whatever is sold, it's technically going to what's car sold. However, the relationship between car inventory and sales is technically this is the input. This is the other user interface that's going to be created. So technically, an employee is actually putting the information into the car sales. And I know that the professor was talking about it shouldn't be plural, so that's one thing that I spotted. There's a couple of things that I spot that I will fix. The next thing is, as far as I told you that a car is sold, so technically whatever the employee inputs the information, and then information is going to the car sold. So technically, this is what's going on over here. What I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use Visio 2010, and with Visio 2010, okay, I'm gonna create some wireframes based on the UML data structure that I created. However, like I said, I will be like editing the UML diagrams a little bit, but to get started with the UML diagrams and the wireframes, you open up. I got Visio 2010. I haven't used the newest version of Visio. I know it's really good. I tested it, but I'm comfortable with 2010 for now. So technically, what I do is I open up a new project, and then in the templates you will find wireframes under software and databases. So technically, when you open up software and databases, you click on wireframe, and you click on create. So I'm gonna go here inside to the newly created Visio template, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start creating this car inventory input based on what's required basically in order to create the user interface design. So here I go. So technically what's going on right here is that I dragged a dialog form. I double clicked on the title, the text title, to change it to car inventory. I take some application forms. Whoop, sorry about that. I take some panels, so technically what I'm doing is I'm dragging a panel into the screen. This is how I would do it. I mean, probably there's a fairly relatively easier way of doing this, but since I'm new at this application, I'm gonna do it the way I feel. So technically, what's going on here is that I'm gonna Control C and Control V. Control. I'm gonna select both, Control C and Control V. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make one more. So I'm just gonna Control C, Control V. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pressing Shift while I'm doing that. I'm appending it into the dialog box. What I'm gonna do is create this little dialog box a little bit bigger. Technically, I'm just gonna add the last in this point of view in the Java perspective JText panel if you're using Swing. So yes. So technically, I'm just gonna name a make, model, year, color, and condition. Okay, so technically I filled everything in, and then I went into quick shapes, and then I just dragged the button, and I call the button insert cart. Insert car, actually, that's what it's supposed to be. And then technically this is a mock-up of the car inventory input. but this will be the Java version. What I'm gonna have to do now is that technically with an Eclipse I already created how can I say it, a mock-up of this is how can I consider it? Excuse my Java lingo. I'm not that great with it. However, it's fun. Okay, so technically right here where it's highlighted system print line, technically I'm gonna create these options, right? So I already created insert car inventory. I'm gonna create insert car purchase and about employee. So technically, because there were some classes made, what I'm gonna have to do here is just delete this main class. But however, before I even delete that, I'm going to create in Visio these two other ones, the same way I showed you how to create the wireframe for the first one. So technically, yeah, sit back, relax while I create the other two, and then from there we'll go into part two of the series in order to understand how to implement your wireframes into GUI using Java and using Eclipse with a built-in plugin called Window Builder, which is a really cool tool. So stay tuned. Okay, so technically, right here I created two more wireframes. I created the menu wireframe and I created insert car purchased wireframe. The only one I didn't create was about employee. I might just take that part out in its entirety, just because not because it's more work, it's because probably it's not even needed. So technically, what's going on in the story is for the welcome menu, which is the main menu, we got the insert cart inventory. You know what? I might just take out about employee and just have the two options within the main menu. So technically, they'll be able to insert car inventory or insert car purchase. So technically, insert car purchase is technically making the sale. We can call it make the sale, and then insert car inventory is adding the inventory, and then these will be the two in order to control it. So technically, I'm done with this wireframe. Like I said, I will possibly edit up the UML at the end, and it will be done once the code, the GUI is created. Okay, so this is it for this part. Stay tuned for part two, which we will be getting back to. Well, we will be coding. That's it. Coding in Java with Window Builder and Eclipse. Let's go have some fun.